sinus longus, arising from the lower third of the lateral supracondylar ridge of the humerus. The muscle passes down the forearm behind the brachioradialis and then deep to the thumb muscles to be inserted as a flattening tendon into the vein of the second metacarpal. 1 second, so only me. Lumbar plexus is formed anterior to the lumbar transverse process within the proximal attachment of the psoas major. This nerve network is. Are you like me, who is screaming and screeching and straining and struggling to read in preclinical school or medical school? Help is here for you. I have simple tips and tricks to help your reading less strenuous and less stressful. Jump into the video with me. Hello there everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Debs. If you just see my face for the first time, welcome. I'm super excited to have you here. You're welcome to the family. Please do something for me. I love language. It's when you subscribe. So please let me see, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Yes, thank you very much. To my returning subscribers, you guys know how much I love you. Thank you for always showing up for me. Thank you. Please, today and always, our goal for every video is 100 likes. So please give it that like, thumbs up till we reach 100 and even surpass 100. Thank you so much, everybody. So we've been doing a medical school in Nigeria series, and we are currently in the preclinical stage of medical school, and it's been fun, it's been informative, it's been educative. Nobody really sits down to tell you all these things word for word, insight for insight, precept upon precept, but I'm glad I have the opportunity to do this for you, and it's really, it gladdens my heart. Thank you so much for watching. I'm excited that we're continuing this preclinical journey. I know that many of you struggle in preclinical school, especially with anatomy, the extensor carpi, longosa, radialis. My dear brothers and sisters of the press, you know that it is only in anatomy that it matters, because when you get to the clinical side, you really do not need to know all those fine details of the anatomy. The aim of you knowing all these things so that you can just pass exams. And I realized that it can be really tough to study anatomy, especially in preclinical school, not to talk about biochemistry and physiology, and most times you just want to scream out because you are just cramming these things and you really do not understand. But there is help. I have some tips and tricks from my bag of tricks that I can use to encourage you and help you to just realize that you're not alone and that there is still help. You can still find ways to find your way around it. We can make reading less pathetic and less straining for you. Yes. So first of all, we're going to be talking about recommended texts in preclinical school. There's a tendency and a temptation to want to read every available text on the internet. You want to read this one, you want to read that one, you want to read Kitmore, Last and Grace, and you now want to add a sprinkle of honey arms. Not only you, how do you want to do it? It's not possible. So that's why we need to know the recommended text. I'm going to be starting from the rules of getting textbooks in medical school. The first rule you must know is that don't buy everything you see. Don't buy everything you see, because the truth about these textbooks is that most of them are just for that season that you are going to be reading them for. It's better for you to get review books. And you will learn that, especially when you go on in clinical school, because you cannot go and say, okay, when you get to pediatrics now, you're not going to buy Nelson's textbook of pediatrics. How many things you want to learn in pediatrics? Except you want to do a residency in pediatrics later on. There's no point buying a very big textbook. Just buy all these small ones. I'm not giving Mr. Adeleke a free advert of what I will give you, Dr. Adeleke. Was it Adeleke we used? I can't remember. Was it Adeleke? There was one very small book that was compressed, but with high yield facts that we used. Nobody went to. But some people bought Kuma and Clark, some people bought for medicine and all that. But I want you today is specifically for preclinical books. And the first rule is you don't need to buy everything. Number 2 rule is you have to save costs. Just save costs. Nigeria of today is very, things are expensive, things are hitting the roof, prices are hitting the roof. So we cannot afford to be wasting money on textbooks. That's why as much as possible, you need to buy as little textbooks as you can and do the remaining ones on your phone or on your laptop. Use ebooks. This is where ebooks come into place. Technology has gone beyond this. Now, the only reason why I would advise that you get hard copy books are for your gross anatomy, where you actually need to see the physical pictures of the muscle insertions, the origins, the nerves, the arteries, the arterial supply, the blood supply, all that. You need to actually see it on paper. Well, you can still actually see this thing on your laptop. Maybe you just zoom it and it will be clear. But it depends on you. But I would advise you could also get it. But the truth is that once you are done with those 18 months of clinical school, you will not use it again. So what's the essence, right? I learned that so I didn't, when people were running to buy Kuma and Clapo, Bajao in clinical school, I didn't buy it. So it was only preclinicals I wasted money to buy textbook. The only time I bought textbook again was in my final year. That's because I knew I was going to do residency in internal medicine. I got a big internal medicine textbook. So that one is I decide. And number 3 thing, try to get books from seniors. If you have senior colleagues that you know that they bought books before, you can get it from them. You can borrow. Some even sell, because some they know they won't use it again, so they just sell. You just see people. I know I've seen it on my group page. Someone says, "Oh, so does somebody have kids more for sale or something?" And blah blah blah. So people sell their books, so you could buy. At least it should be relatively cheaper compared to buying the brand new ones, right? So you could buy books too from seniors. Then you could also print out your lecture handouts and listen in class and take notes, my dear. You're fine. And use the rest as ebook. You go to free download sites, you see where to download free books online and all that. Even from your folders, your preclinical folders, you see textbooks that people have sent and all that. So yeah, those are the rules of textbook. Now, for your recommended text, the first rule or the first thing I'm going to talk about is gross anatomy. Now, anatomy is divided into 4, right? Gross anatomy, histology, embryology, and neuroanatomy. So for gross anatomy, the recommended text, the baba of them is KIT, more clinically oriented anatomy. I'm going to put it here. It's more clinically. I even actually have the hard copy here. So for you to know that I actually did buy my Kismo. So here is my Kismo. A good old Kismo. I think this is the what edition? 7th edition. I think there's a revised edition, but please, what are they revising? Is the anatomy of the body changing? I don't understand. Maybe they just added more clinical, so it's clinically oriented. That's why it's very good compared to this last. This is last Trumi Sinatabi's last. Last is very like gross. Like they just go and talk about this. They don't really do. There's barely any clinical inside last. Right, they will tell you regional and applied, but the applied is not significant. But this, you would, as I open it, you would see that there are so many blue. See how I highlighted my kids more, as if they gave me the book as coloring book. You would see all these blue parts. Let me try and look for them. Those are the parts that are the clinical parts, exactly. These blue parts are the clinical parts. So what they do is that after they've explained the anatomy, then they now go into these blue parts for you to now see the application of the anatomy, injury to the nerves, injury to the muscles and all that, and how they affect the structure, the normal structure of the body. So yeah, Kitsmore is the best. It's the best, hands down. Don't let anybody see me tell you you're in grades, clinical. Kitsmore is the best. Now there are other ones like Last and Grade, like I said. Now for the atlas, you need an atlas to couple with your Kitsmore. Now Kitsmore has a lot of beautiful images, but you still need an atlas because the atlas is strictly for pictures of the gross anatomy, so you need an atlas. So I recommend Frank Netter's. I'll put some other ones here. I can't remember their names, so I recommend Frank Netter's and others here. So the next one is embryology, Sadler's. I don't know if Sadler's is in the Bresing, but I think he is. So Sadler's is the recommended text for embryology. Please, there's no need for you to be going up and down looking for textbooks. Sadler's embryology. I think it's in the Bresing. I'm not sure. I'll confirm, but I'll put it up here as well. Yeah. Next is histology. What we used was John Queria, but I know I had a second histology textbook. I cannot remember the name, but I'll look for it and put it up here. But I know we used John Queria histology text. That was recommended for us. Yeah. Then neuroanatomy, I can't remember, but I'm going to look it up and put it up here. The books that we used for neuroanatomy. So that's it for anatomy. Now let's go to physiology. Now physiology was quite interesting for me because that was when I discovered massive treasure. When I say massive treasure, I'm still enjoying the treasure till today. And that's you ask me, what's the treasure? The treasure of Indian authors. Have you met Indian medical authors? Oh my god. These people have the gift of teaching. These people have the gift of writing. When they write books for you, will understand. You will read like this, you know that you read. And how did we get introduced? Through one beautiful book. And I'm not going to mention it first because in case our teachers see this, they will say, you're teaching our students bad thing, but they don't like the book. Anyway, the first recommended text is Ganon's Physiology. I remember it used to be in a very long blue thing. It was not too high, but very tiny print and complex. I call it complex and compressed physiology. Complex and compressed because it's packed. And it's a bit, that's why I said it's complex. It's a bit tough to understand, but at least it's still, there's some parts that you get and some parts you not get. Then the second one is Guidance. Guidance I had the old edition. It was very big, so it was bigger than the Bible said. Very big, but you will understand. They will take their time, they will sleep and explain for you, you understand. But it was big. And then the treasure that our lecturers told us, students loved it, but lecturers hated it. Guess what it is? Sebulingam. I can't even read this Sebulingam. Please, that textbook was the goal. That was what even made me love physiology, because that textbook explained everything physiology to the letter. I don't know why they hated that textbook. Why? Because it's an Indian that wrote it. Egg. Did not also understand the physiology of the body, they change. I beg, Kilode. Sebulingam was gold, and like liquid gold, like add over gold. And that was what made me fall in love with Indian authors. Until now, I would rather choose an Indian author over an American author. So if you're even looking for textbooks, I would even tell, hey, Indian author. With me, I do Indian authors anytime, any day, because of the way they explain and everything. Even their teachings, when you listen to them teach you, even if you are the dullest person on the surface of the earth, if your brain is blocked, you will understand. Because Indians, they teach, they write. I salute you, sirs and mass. So next is biochemistry. Biochemistry is very, very tricky. I think we use Vasudevan. I'll put it up here. Vasudevan. I don't really, you guys already know that I never liked biochemistry. But it's fine. I feel because they didn't introduce. Funny enough, I've been reading biochemistry recently because of the exams I'm preparing for, and it's not that bad really. Maybe because I'm not forced to learn structures. I'm just focusing on the clinical correlations, and that makes it actually more interesting to learn. And I believe that was not their focus when they were teaching about chemistry. Just so they used to cram the structures to the letter. Funny enough, I loved chemistry when I was in secondary school. When I got to biochemistry, I was even thinking, my love for chemistry will spill over, but will spill. In fact, dry. It's dried up. Anyway, so bye. So the second part of this video is how to study in medical school preclinical school. Now, I always say this, that the aim of studying is recall and the ability to reproduce what you have studied. If you sit down for 10 hours and you read, and at the end of the 10 hours you have nothing to show for it, my dear, you just wasted your time. Because you can have notes, but if you don't have it in your head, the aim is to have it in your head, not in your notes. Did you hear that? The aim is to have it in your head and not in your notes. The aim is to keep it in your brain. If it's in your notes, are you going to open your notes in the exam hall? It is what is in your brain that you pour out in the exam hall. Do you get my point? So so the first thing is, number one, prepare your mind for intensive reading in preclinical school. This is not a child's play. You are going to read. You are going to read your life out. Really, you are going to literally read your life out. So prepare your mind. Let your mind be made of that. I am going to read. I'm going to sit down for long extensive hours studying. Yes, that's number one. To know yourself. I've said it so many times, and I will not stop saying it. Know yourself. Some of us, this is our cycle. We eat, we sleep, then we wake up and eat. Some of you want the hunger pangs to be dealing with you as they are eating. I can't do it all. I cannot read hungry because I need the glucose. I rather eat, sleep, then it's come. My eyes will not be open. I'll not read the hair on my wallet to enter very well. But you see that one that bit. Some of you is read, then food is now your reward. Anyhow, just do what works for you. Know yourself. I talked about this in the other videos on the preclinical school. Know yourself. Don't compare yourself with anybody. Medical school, there is zero comparison in medical school. Your greatest competition in medical school is not your friend. It is yourself. You are competing against yourself. You are pushing you are pushing beyond your limits. You are doing everything so that you can become a better version of you, and that's what medical school does. It pushes the best version of you out. And I'm so glad that I went to medical school, because beyond even the fact that I'm a doctor, it actually gave me endurance, it gave me zeal, it gave me perseverance, even in different areas of life, because you need it in medical school. Number 3 thing is get a reading spot. You cannot read everywhere. See, I know some people that till today they never entered the room to read. Number 1, my friend Dr. Esther, if you're watching this video, I know you don't read the room. Esther never read for one day. I was sure that was somebody reading their room. Like, it was weird to me. Like, how will somebody actually be reading in their room? On their bed, Papa. Esther will read on her bed. She will be lying down and she will be reading. Esther, how did you do it? Come and blow powder for me, because I don't understand. Once I lie down, see, once I put the side of my bum on my bed, he sleep. Not stop on lying down on my bed and reading. I hear you. Anyway, some people are wired that way. Get your reading spot wherever is comfortable for you. Don't feel the pressure to let me go to the room. What if you go to the room and you don't get the environment? Some people don't like silence, so when they are reading, people prefer to have like all this background noise, people playing in the background for them to assimilate. That's when they assimilate. So know yourself and get a reading spot. Some people you need music to read. Some people you need just a small amount of distraction and all that, so that you anyhow just get your reading spot. Don't let anybody say, why will you not be coming to the reading room? You are not jacking. Don't let anybody intimidate you. Wherever is your spot, choose it and sit down there and read. Funny enough, I started reading in the reading room from my beginning days of 100 level. I continued like that. MB1 I read in the reading room, MB2 I read in the reading room, MB3 I read in the reading room. My dear people of the press, when I got to MB4, I was thinking I'm a reading person. I just noticed that I was not making progress in the reading room. I'll be like, what's wrong? I'll be falling asleep in the reading room. The room was like my sleeping place. Anytime I go there, like, yeah. Just to myself, what's my problem? I said, let me change my reading spot. Let me change my reading spot. And I started to sit at the staircase on the floor, because my hostel, the block I stayed at like 3 floors, so I would stay on the staircase on my floor. And I realized that I was able to read, and the fact that people will be passing few times, maybe every 15 minutes somebody will pass, it used to keep me awake than if it's that I'm just in one small cubicle in the room. If I sleep, nobody will disturb me, nobody will tell me anything. But that one, that is all of us, I'll open my eye and all that, and that's buzz of people still around. It still helps to keep you awake. Though sometimes I'll sleep off and all that, but it helped me. After I moved to my room, people of God. Me that I say I cannot read in my room. Final year, I read my final year exam in my room. For you to know that reading sports can change. So don't also streamline yourself, don't box yourself out.